We can physically and mentally establish certain levels of harmony between the body, the mind, with other living beings, with the environment, with nature. But the very foundation of real harmony is to love God. The Srimad Bhagavatam tells, if you water the root of the tree, naturally every part of the tree we connect with. Similarly, when we actually connect with the love of God, the love for Krishna, Krishna prema that is within us, then we live in complete harmony with everything and everyone on an essential spiritual level. We see how today the environment, the ecology of the world is being plundered and exploited and polluted, and how it's affecting people. We're seeing how the arrogance of various types of discrimination based on the differences we think we have with other people, be it religion, race, sex, nationality, how much havoc it's causing. All of these conditions are all woven on the thread of time. Nothing survives physically. Srila Prabhupada gives an analogy that two nations may hate each other. And a person may work so hard to defend themselves against another nation, but then within moments could die and take birth in that nation. We become what we consider our enemies. Karma is like that. So, of course, we have to do the needful in this world to protect ourselves, protect our loved ones, protect our nations. But without recognizing and appreciating the purpose of life, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sajya Kabunoi Saravanadi Sudhi Chiti Koriya Yudoi. Love for God, love for Krishna is within the heart of everyone. The greatest utilization of time is to engage in ways that awaken that love. Through the way we interact with other people, with character, with compassion. The way we engage with the environment through respect and gratitude. And through the way we cultivate the deep experience of our own spiritual connection with God through our sadhana, through chanting God's holy names, through hearing the glories of the Lord. The essence of Vedic literature, Srimad Bhagavatam, was presented to us in a context that is so relevant. Parikshit Maharaj, He was the emperor of the world. No one had more wealth than him. No one had more fame, popularity, and influence than him. And personally, he was so strong, so powerful. There's descriptions where he alone rode around his kingdom on his horse. He hardly needed armies. He had such personal strength. And he was also totally pious. But yet, he was given notice he would die in 7 days. This is something very serious. Srila Prabhupada would say that Parikshit Maharaj knew for sure he had 7 days to live. But there is not a person alive today that knows for sure that we have 7 days. Maharaj Khatvanga attained the perfection of life in a moment when he took shelter of the Lord. Parikshit Maharaj, what an example he established. He went to a place where he could best cultivate his love for God. He went to the bank of the river Ganga, or Ganges. And such spiritual care the great sages and rishis had. From wherever they were living in the world, they all gathered in that place to be there, to show their gratitude to Parikshit Maharaj and to help him to transition into his next life in the spiritual world. Sukadev Goswami, he was only 16 years old. This itself is so relevant because we're speaking of time. There were sages who were assembled like Vashishta, Viswamitra, Parvat Muni, Narada Muni, Vyasadev. The scriptures can hardly calculate their age. They were there at the time of previous incarnations of Ram. And yet of all of them, they chose Sukadev, who was only 16 years old, to speak. And Sukadev himself, he declared that the greatness of life is not in the quantity of our years, the quantity of our accomplishments, the quantity of our acquisitions, but the greatness of life is in the quality of our consciousness. Yes, we honor the trees that live for thousands of years. But Srila Prabhupada cited Lord Jesus Christ. He only lived about 32 years. Shankaracharya lived only 31 years. Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived on this earth for 48 years. And yet, they made an impact on this planet that is forever opening the doors to supreme liberation.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on devotionalnectar.com.